everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kinsey. I am a second grade student teacher in Maryland, and welcome to a work day in my life. It's actually Martin Luther King Day. I'm still working because the parents that I nanny for wanted to get some housework done. So one kid is napping, the other two are up playing. I am cleaning up from lunch, but I really wanted to sit down and tell you a few things about working while student teaching or working while going to college, all of that stuff, because I am nearing the end of that experience and I feel like there is a lot of positive that I got from it, and I was terrified of doing it. I just want to show you my setup real quick, just resting my phone right on top of my kid's water bottle and keeping an eye on the napping one. So if you hear lots of things in the background, I've got one kiddo asleep and then the other two are upstairs playing in their room. So you might hear them in the background, but I nanny while I student teach. And it's an interesting dynamic now, and I'm actually going to be taking a break for my last semester because it is chaotic student teaching. And so I needed a break for my last semester where I'm taking all these big tests and everything, but I have consistently worked throughout the last 3 years of my college experience, and 2 of those years were basically fully teacher-oriented student teaching, all of that stuff. So for the first little while, I was working in a preschool or like a daycare setting from ages 2 to 4. And then that shut down last year. And so I lost my job and I ended up starting to nanny over the summer and used that as my income throughout my last semester. And obviously I'm on break now working, and then I unfortunately will have no job for my last semester. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what this was like and why I think it was really helpful. So first of all, I just want to say that everybody's situation is different. There are a lot of people that go into school having to work, like they have no choice. A lot of people go into school not needing to work. Some want to, some don't. Anxiety levels of college really differs for every single person. And so for me personally, I was able to handle the stress of a job as well as school till now, because now that my last semester is here, I feel like it is way too stressful and I don't think that I could handle it. So I am not going to do it. I just wanted to let you know that this is just me sharing my experience, not telling you what you have to do to be successful, because everyone is successful in their own ways. So just wanted to put that out there. I also am loving my setup. First off, I want to say that it's possible. Working and going to school or working and student teaching and everything seems so daunting. Like, it's terrifying to think of the amount of work that you're doing and the amount of things you're thinking about. But for me, it was actually really helpful because I was forced to, like, during these hours, do my work, and then during these hours do something else, and then whatever. And so it kind of broke up my schoolwork and the real work and everything like that. And it was good for me because I work better under pressure. I kind of procrastinate a little bit, and so like having to get something done was really helpful for me. And something unique about my situation was that I worked in a daycare that was affiliated with my school. So what that meant was they knew I was a student. And so every semester we would turn in our schedules and they would make our work schedules based on our class schedules. And so I will say that it probably would be a lot more difficult to make this work if you don't have a job that understands that school is really important. And so luckily for me, I definitely had a job that put my school first and considered my school with my schedule and everything like that. And I was very lucky in that sense. The next thing I want to point out is the money. Obviously. First of all, having a job in general is really beneficial for money and having money, and when you want to go out and do something, whatever, but also saving. My boyfriend and I are currently living in a house off campus with some roommates, and we were able to do that because I was saving money, he was saving money, and it's just a situation that we put ourselves in to be successful, and it just sets you up for more. And obviously coming out of college, I will have student loans to pay off and a million other things, and so considering those from the very, very beginning will be really helpful. And so if you can handle all that, like without a job, super cool. If you want a job, even though you can handle it, super cool. The stereotypical broke college student is a real thing. And so jobs are important. The next thing is the experience. For me, I worked in a preschool and then in a nannying position, and those are both a lot of really great experience with my career field. So those are both things that I literally have on my resume. So as I'm learning and doing all this, I'm also adding to my resume with these jobs that I'm having. So again, if you're starting to build your own business, like work for a small business, or if you're trying to be a lawyer, work for a law firm, those types of things, having a job that is giving you experience and knowledge about your career choice is something that is priceless, because saying that I have been working as a teacher for 4 years basically, that says a lot to my ability to teach when I am looking for a job. And so keeping those things in mind and making sure, like retail jobs are great, and they do get you the money part, but if you can also find one that really helps with your experience and building your resume and things like that, then you should totally go for that, because it might be just a little bit better and maybe more enjoyable too. And the very last thing that I want to say about this is, as chaotic as it is to work and go to school, the life experience of working and doing something else and doing something else and doing something else, like you are pretty much always going to be juggling a million and one things. And so kind of starting that early, because you can get used to it. I am so used to working and then doing homework after work, or working and then doing homework during nap time, or whatever. And it's the same thing with YouTube. Like, I love doing this and I love filming these videos, but it is like an extra thing to do. Like, I edit during free time or, whatever. And it's all just like an extra hobby, but I enjoy it, so I want to make time for it. And that would be really, really difficult if I was not as comfortable with like juggling a million things and kind of multitasking. So that life experience of like, okay, I need to get this part done in order for this to be successful, or like keeping up with deadlines, prioritizing, to-do lists, all of that good stuff is all really, really important for life. And if you work while you're learning, it is essentially the same thing. I will also add that if you plan on getting a master's like online or something while you're teaching, it's the same thing. You would be going to a job and then doing schoolwork at home. So you are preparing yourself for what you're planning in the future. So this video would not be complete without mentioning the negatives and the things that I really struggled with while making this happen. I was always either working or going to school. And my college experience was very different. I felt I did not like go to parties or do anything crazy. I really literally just like went to school and went to work. And that's my personality, partly also because I'm like the biggest introvert you'll ever meet, but I also never really had time. And all of the friends that I do have are teaching majors, or they worked at the daycare I work at, or whatever. And so those things would be a negative for some people, to know that like your social life will be impacted or whatever. That's important to note because it was significant. However, it wasn't significant to me. So another big thing is that the reason I was able to pull all of this off was because I have a car. Having a car is such a privilege, and I am so grateful that my dad really helped me and supported me in purchasing my car. It made such a difference for my college experience because I wasn't restricted to campus jobs. I was able to find jobs outside of my campus, and it gave me a little bit of options, and I was able to kind of pick what I wanted to do. It's so important that you consider your whole situation. Having a car really helped me, and that's a big thing to consider if you are starting a job or starting to think about getting a job during college. All right, you guys, I wanted to just put a little bit more information out there about working while student teaching and going to school and everything like that. There's also not a lot of information about like the opinions and how it's actually going to work while you're doing all this stuff. And so I really wanted to just share my experience, because I would have loved to hear somebody say like, you're gonna be okay if you work while you do it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any more questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. I would love to talk to you guys. And consider subscribing, because there is lots more where this came from. I will be graduating in May, so I'll be documenting my whole student teaching journey, and I'm so excited to bring you all along with me. Also consider looking at my Instagram, because I'm a little more active on there. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It supports my channel so much, and I post every Friday night. I will see you in the next one. Just keep teaching.